Reach Over Culture podcast. It is I, it is Roc, coming to you like I do every Reach Over Culture podcast. You heard me. No jersey. I got none other than my youngin' here, the young bull, the young baby face killer. To know him is to love him. Mr. Moses Chavez, you heard?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How you doing?
And I can't complain, bro. I can't complain. I feel cozy.
I know. I like that jacket.
Thank you, bro. It's cozy. And I'm not giving away no free promotion, but this is cozy. Shout out to you, man, if you tuning in for the first time in a long time. Shout out to you. I'm going to give you some love. Because y'all need love, too. Shout out to those that's been tuning in every single week. Drop a bomb for y'all. Drop a bomb for y'all. Y'all get the bomb. And this is your first time tuning in. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Welcome. Wipe your feet at the door. You heard?
Wow, it's very nice.
We are here, episode 72, man. We are here. We'll probably hit 100 before the year is up. And 100, we going up. The 100 is going crazy. But shout out to you, man. Many blessings to y'all. Wishing y'all nothing but the best as we get into this fall season. Is why I'm all so cozy. Because fall is coming.
Mm-hmm.
October is pretty much here. By the time this comes out, October would have been here. Let's jump into it, man. Got a few segments. We're going to do something a little shifty. You know what I mean? Euro step. We got segments. And this one for the brothers up north.
Wow, it's very nice.
Getting full off that Jack Mac. First pod back. We got another pod. So the Brothers Up North segment, we're going to take the time to spotlight a special entrepreneur, solo entrepreneur, any technology influencers, artists, anything that, we might notice throughout the week or throughout our couple of weeks that we want to spotlight and shout out. Free promotion here. For the brothers up north, I want to give a special shout out to no one to love them. My brother, my mans, and them, like my mother's son, Mr. Robert Burrell, founder and owner of the Atlas Media Group. Shout out to the Atlas Media Group. He does videography, photography for those who might need it. You can follow him at Atlas Media Group. Also at Robert D. Burrell on Instagram. You can go there, follow him, shoot him some inquiries. He's based out of here in Tulsa. You've seen him on the podcast before, and he will be producing Reach Over Culture, Uncredible Sources podcast as well. So y'all be able to see his work through what we do here on the YouTubes. That's for my brothers up north. Moses Chavez, who would you like to shout out for the Brothers Up North segment?
I'm going to give a shout out to Evan Dogood. He's one of my brothers. He is the founder of Be Heard Movement.
Right.
If some people may not know, he runs a nonprofit that helps out with the homeless community, and he has a shower trailer and gives out showers, just posts up at churches or wherever you can find the parking lot with running water. Soon after, he's believing to get a laundry trailer, so they can get showers and also clean their clothes.
So,
just shout out to Evan. If you can look up Be Heard Movement and donate if you feel, and shout out to my main.
Shout out to Evan, man. Also, he does have an episode on the podcast, not too far away. So you can go to episode 64 and listen to our episode with Evan. He explains exactly what Be Heard is, where it sparks from, and where he hopes that it's going. So make sure you go check that out. Episode 64 on the Reach Over Culture podcast on YouTube, wherever you're streaming podcasts. You can go find more about Evan. Let's go back to the future. Back to the Future segment is something that we are looking forward to, either individually, collectively, whatever. Events, shows, a day off, whatever. That's the Back to the Future, whatever we're looking forward to. What's your Back to the Future? What are you looking forward to?
I think right now is the fair. I really want to go to the fair. I haven't gone in a minute. I just want to.
Wow, it's
I want to go on my day off and ride all the rides when the
What do you mean you haven't gone in a minute?
Dude, I haven't gone like 5 years, 4 years.
You haven't been in the state fair in 4 years?
Yeah, like it wasn't as intriguing to me, and I didn't have money back then, and I always thought it was expensive to go because I didn't.
On the right night it can.
Yeah.
On the right night.
So now life is pretty good right now, and
right.
I think it'd be fun to go ride some rides. I think that's the only thing I really care about.
You heard that? Life is pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
sir.
Sir.
And I'm also excited for a concert. I just realized that's going to be coming soon on October 15th.
Who that?
Maverick City.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally forgot about it. But yeah, I'm real excited to go see them.
You got your tickets before they sold out.
Yeah, I got my tickets for it. So they sold out like a week or 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, they was out of there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but other than that, no. I think that's what
So State Fair, Maverick City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. Man, a couple of great movies is coming out in the next couple of weeks. This weekend specifically, the weekend that we're recording this, The Many Saints of Newark is coming out. So, for those who don't know, I'm a huge movie fan. Many Saints of Newark is a prequel movie to the show Sopranos, and pretty much shows how Tony Soprano ended up coming into the life, his uncles, and a lot of the characters that you love from the Sopranos, if you do love the Sopranos. You're going to see a younger version of themselves in this movie. Critics said that, and that the guy who played Tony Soprano in The Sopranos, his son is playing a younger version of him.
That's funny.
His son looks just like him, bro.
That's cool.
And talks like him. And everybody said that his son absolutely killed the role, which, rest in peace to his pops, is a very, that's a very major honor, being that his pops passed, some years ago. And his pops did an amazing job as Tony Soprano on the show. So I can only imagine the amount of pressure that you feeling as this son, like having to kind of live up to your father's legacy in a way. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Also, the off season. We off for niggas. Shout out to Cole. J. Cole bringing the off season tour over to Dallas, and I was fortunate enough to score tickets with that. Shout out to the plug. I love you. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that in the next couple of weeks as well. That's going to be dope. Also, shout out to my mans. I'm not going to, spoil too much. But my dog P. Carriz, who we all know and love, is working on a short film. And I got a part in that, so I'm looking forward to being a part of that. We're supposed to do our scene this Saturday, so that's going to be super fire as well.
What's your role?
I play the bestie. I play the best friend that's here to give wisdom and counsel when needed. Yeah.
That's
crazy thing. Crazy thing.
That's actually like kind of true.
Pretty accurate, right?
Pretty accurate, yeah.
So he has sent me the script just for me to read it and see what I thought. Probably sometime last year. Or earlier this year. I'm sorry, earlier this year. It was around the time they dropped Super Splash Bros 2, so some months ago. So he just sent me the script to see, what I thought when I just read the script, just plainly. And so when I read the Huey character, which is the name of my character, or it might be something different, you might change it. I was like, yo, this is pretty much like how we talk and we communicate. I was like, bro, if you need somebody to do this role, I think I can do this role. He's like, you trying to act? I said, yeah, bro, why not? I'm just trying new stuff.
Yeah.
And
oh man, I can't wait to see.
Nah, it should be fire. It should be fire. I'm pretty excited for it. We've had a couple of table reads, worked out the logistics. Again, me and him shoot. We got a short scene. The whole film is it's not gonna be more than 10 minutes. It's a real short film.
Oh, okay.
Real short film, but it's gonna be fire though. It's gonna be fire. So I'm looking forward to those things. You heard. Shout out to everybody that got something going on. And go on. Now, I've been catching up on The Sopranos. I've watched The Sopranos from time to time, but being that I knew this movie was coming out, I was definitely intentional about rewatching all the seasons so I can get all the information I can. It's 6 seasons. I found that I can actually do it pretty easily. When I lock into a show, I'm locked in. There's really nothing else. And so I've been watching Sopranos nonstop, and I kept forgetting how great of a show that was. It's really one of the greatest shows of all time. Yeah. So I've been watching The Sopranos just to prepare for the movie that's coming out, and not only have I had this not situations of my own, but people that I know and love have been going through these situations where it's tough for them to have tough conversations. And one of the things I love about the Sopranos show is if there's a family that doesn't mind having a tough conversation, it's that family. Now, mind you, Tony Soprano, if you know the character, you know he's off the rails. He loses his temper. He goes from one place to 100 real quick. And that's in dealing with everybody. That's in dealing with his workers. That's in dealing with his wife. That's in dealing with his kids. That's in dealing with his sister. But I have to give this show credit. Or I have to give this family credit. Even though it's not always the best, they never shy away from the tough conversations. Never. Even though he might yell, they never shy away from tough conversations. And so it just made me think, like, not only just that, in situations that I know people are going through, and even situations I've been in, why is it so hard for us as millennials to have tough conversation? Confrontation, tough conversation. Why is it so difficult for us to have it? So at first, let's address why we avoid them, right? Before we can get into like really why it's tough in the first place, why do we avoid them? We avoid tough conversations, I believe, as millennials because we're unprepared. Just like most things, we don't want to deal with the consequences at the other end of a situation, or what we deem as consequences. You know, as a kid, you do something, you lie, you do something, but you lie about it because you don't want to suffer the consequences. You don't. It's like whatever's on the other side of this, even though I know it's a better path. Even though I know it can't be that bad, I still don't want to fool with it. So why do we avoid tough conversations? Because typically in tough conversations, you learn growing up that on the back end of those tough conversations with your parents, coaches, whoever, there's usually some consequences that come with that, right? And so then you grow up and you have peers and y'all have your own lives and y'all do your own things. And now it just really your perspective of consequences change because nobody can punish you, but people can cut you off. People can slander your name. People can, do X, Y, and Z in different ways that may or may not affect your livelihood. Your everyday patterns. If you're an extroverted person, you don't want to have tough. You need friends. You need people around you, right?
Yeah.
If you're an introverted person, you still might not have the tough conversations. Like, well, I already got like 4 people in my corner. I only hang out with 4 people. If I piss one of these people off, that just lowers it down to 3, and then it just makes it tougher to be outside, right? But we don't. I think a lot of millennials avoid tough conversations because they don't want to be looked at a certain way or have a certain perception brought on about themselves, and so it's just better to, let things skate and let things build up versus having a conversation that might be damaging in ways that you didn't realize. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Why do you think we avoid tough conversations?
I think some people are just scared of confrontation. Not confrontations. I feel like they're just not prepared. They don't know what to say. Right. Like if you tell somebody and they get mad, right. they don't know how. Like if someone, they don't know how to respond to someone's response. Right. In a way, because I can give you an example, like at work, and I tell somebody, like they're not approved for their call on and that's a tough conversation to say. I'm like, hey, in those kind of situations, I mean, like that, what the bad news to tell somebody, or there's something wrong in a relationship, like you don't want to say it like, hey, yeah, this ain't gonna work. I feel like the best way for me, my response is just say it boldly and say it confidently, and just kind of wait, see what they say.
Right. Because then you also don't want to hurt feelings as well.
Exactly.
Which is more where you're coming from. Like it's tough. We don't want to have tough guys. We don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
And that's another thing. You don't want to hurt people's feelings. You want everybody to be happy.
Right.
But in the back end, the best thing to say to somebody is just tell them the truth.
Very true.
Yeah, I think people will appreciate it more if you're front with them rather than just ignoring a situation and you're just hurting them more.
Very true. Very true. And there's tons of examples of this in the biblical realm, that people avoided tough conversations. And like Jacob and Esau. Jacob immediately believed that Esau was going to kill him. Just in the back end to just have a conversation. All the years passed, they just end up having a conversation. And maybe Esau did want to kill him.
Yeah.
This is the simple fact that you just wasn't willing to have a conversation at first. Joseph's brothers lied to Jacob about what his son doing.
Mm-hmm.
Or Joseph having the opportunity to stun on his brothers and he didn't. Except he said, you know what, I'm going to let y'all live, but we got to have a real talk real quick. A real powwow, real huddle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Jesus ain't want Jesus had to tell 12 people at the table, one of y'all is a snitch and a rat. One of y'all gonna sell me out. He already knew who sold him out. He already knew it was Judas.
Yeah.
But he was just letting everybody, hey, listen, one of y'all is a rat. And one of y'all gonna sell me out. And I love you all though, but let's have a conversation. Every time Jesus brought up or made it even more and more clear what his intentions were, he had to tell Peter to get behind him. Get behind me, Satan. And he wasn't talking to Peter. But at the same time, if you look biblically in the text, there's a lot of situations where a lot of people have to have a lot of tough come to Jesus conversations. And us as millennials, we can't afford to avoid the tough conversations. Now, how do you prepare for confrontations or tough conversations with friends and family? How do you prepare? Or do you prepare?
You have a strong foundation. Because you got to prepare for the worst.
Talk to me.
Like I was saying earlier, just be confident. Just come with some confidence and have unwavering, have a strong household, I guess you could say.
You mean like a strong, like when you say when you have a strong argument for how you feel, or just like stand on how you feel? Yeah,
because like if you could say something and then the person doesn't like it and they get upset, they come with an objection. Mm-hmm. You can't be moved by what they say. You gotta stay firm on what you want to say. Mm-hmm. The conversation that you want to have. You
need your facts.
Yeah,
you need to have your facts in order.
Uh-huh.
Because then you also have those people too, which I'm not a fan of those people that go against all fact just to go off of how they feel. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah, that's another thing. You gotta come up with some answers if they come back. But you did this, or no, it's actually like this, and then you say, actually, no, it's like this, because you don't want to just stand there and be like, I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which might be another reason why people avoid a tough conversation. I know plenty of people that avoid tough conversations with people like me, because you're going to have your facts in order. Because all I'm going to do is ask a bunch of questions. I'm going to ask 50 million questions. Give you the rope and let you hang yourself with it. If your facts are not in order, you don't want to have a tough conversation with me, because then you're going to be pissed off and frustrated. Because then we get to the fact of you're just going off of how you feel. Not what, because there's a couple of different tough conversations. You got one you might have a tough conversation with somebody just based off of how you feel. Like somebody, you got a homeboy and you got an issue with some dude. Now your homeboy, he cool with you and he cool with the dude you got an issue with. And he cool to the point where it's, look, that's y'all thing, that ain't my thing. So y'all got to figure that out how y'all figure that out. I don't have an issue with either party. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So he throwing a shindig, and he invite you, and he invite the dude that you got an issue with.
Ooh.
But he didn't tell neither one of y'all.
Ooh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in some people's eyes, he ain't need to tell either one of y'all. He already told y'all where he stood as far as having individual relationships with y'all, right? He already told you, I'm cool with him. I don't have no issue with him. So whatever's between y'all is between y'all. So if he invites you to a party and he says that that's his man's too, then you want to think that he's going to be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
If he's obviously told you, yo, I'm not about to exclude this dude out of my life for you, and I'm not going to do the same to you for him, that's y'all issue, you would expect that he would say that, yo, this dude's going to, you would expect, like, you should expect this other guy to be there, right?
Yeah.
But then you have the other person, like myself, who probably would be on the side of, damn, give a nigga a heads up something, right? Like, you don't have to check in with me, and I'm not asking you for permission to hang with the, but man, a heads up would be nice, right? Because in my mind, if I got an issue with dude, and we haven't had especially if we haven't had a conversation, we haven't had a tough conversation or confrontation. The first time he sees me, it might go somewhere left because we haven't had a talk and because we haven't come to an understanding. So I need to be prepared just in case I walk into your party to celebrate you and he comes with a different energy and vice versa.
Yeah.
That would be me. But then you also have people that say, nah, he ain't got to tell you nothing. My point is this. Neither stance is wrong. Neither stance is wrong. Both stances make sense. But you have people that argue off of feeling and not fact. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact is you ain't say nothing. The fact is you put both of us in a predicament that your party could have got tore up. But he can say, I feel like I shouldn't have to tell y'all anything. I feel that y'all should know how to conduct yourselves outside of y'all issues because y'all at my party. I feel like y'all was selfish in that moment. And you got somebody that can say, no, you was selfish in that moment because you didn't want to say nothing. You can't argue with people that just go off of feeling for me. This is the most difficult people to argue with because all they're based off is how I feel. I am hurt. You hurt my feelings. Forget the facts. Obviously, you know what side I'm on. I'm on the side of facts.
Yeah.
Forget the facts. You hurt my feelings. And that's just it. I don't like having tough conversations. So, you as Moses, you just prepare to be straight up and no matter what.
Oh, yeah. I'm straight up. I don't care if I want to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm going to be straight up.
Straight up?
Yeah. I'll take the last time.
You see, I prepare based off of who I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've learned. I for the longest, up until probably like my mid-20s, I only had one way of delivering. And that was stern. That was straight up. With as much love as I can possibly do it.
Yeah.
Right? To the point where, I have the reputation, I say this all the time, I am not the guy that people come to first. If people got an issue, they need advice about something, I'm not the first person they come to anymore. Because I'm going to ask you. Do you just want me to listen? Or do you want feedback? If you want feedback, then you know this is my truth coming. Right? And my truth can be delivered in a way, I don't cuss anybody out or anything like that. It's just, I've learned because of my voice, because of just the way I say things, and the way I articulate things, it just sounds like your father is talking to you.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my peers is like, yo, I'm only going to Raheem just to hear, not that I'm the realest, but somebody I know isn't going to sugarcoat anything with me. He's going to tell it to me straight up. Even to the point of me being mad at him. Because I've had people mad at me for keeping it a bean, keeping it straight up. And then come back and say, I was mad at you, but you were right.
Yep.
I've been that person plenty. So I'm that person. Let me get my feelings. Let me get my emotions. Let me get everything in order before I go talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Because my feelings might get hurt. I'm that guy. So, but even knowing that, having tough conversations and confrontations, I prepare based off of who I'm talking to. If it's a simple, if it's a person I know is pretty simple and they're not really emotional like that, like neither am I. I don't plan to come with this 50 million speech. I don't plan on being cautious with my words. I'm just going to say what I got to say because I know you're not going to take it away. And you can say whatever you got to say because I know I'm not going to take it away. If I'm talking to somebody that I know my words like mean something. Where it's like, all right, I've hurt your feelings in the past by keeping it real. Let me not sauce it up, but let me try to be more sweet. Let me smile when I say it because maybe you won't feel as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just based off of who I'm talking to, the situation is how I prepare to have a confrontation. If it's like a guy I don't like, I'm just only prepared to go up at that point. Because I'm going to say what I got to say. And if it just go, I'm just prepared for it to go left. I don't really know how the conversation going to go. I'm just prepared for it to go that way.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I prepare. It's really just based off of who I'm talking to at the moment. And that'd be friends and family. Just whoever I'm talking to, that's how I prepare. But more than anything, I try to listen to as much R&B, keep as much love and light in my life.
Yeah.
So that way I'm just in the best mood I can possibly be at all times. You know, I try to stay prayed up. Try to read a proverb a day. Because we all need a little Jesus in our life.
Yeah.
I just try to keep my spirit in the correct place. So that way, if I do have to have a tough conversation, I don't got to try so hard to just prepare. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, last thing before we get out of here. You know, I think about how frequent people should have those tough conversations, right? It's that old saying, if you can't argue with your homie or your friend, that's not your friend. If you can't argue and come back from it, that's not your friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same with family. You know, families, as you get older, even with the parental relationship, I believe you should be able to have certain forms, certain levels of confrontation. Because you've grown, especially if you're grown, you're out here, you're paying your own bills, you're doing your own thing. We don't have the same we don't have the same nuances that we had before. So if you offend me, I feel like as a son, I should be able to say, Dad, you offended me with that. Right? Mom, you hurt my feelings, X, Y, and Z. And I feel like those should happen. Those should happen frequently if there's frequent offense. Right? A lot of families and friendships are destroyed in what we see as a blink of an eye. Like on the outside looking in, you might see somebody go through some family issues, or you might see people be besties one day and then never talking about each other the next day. And for us, it looks like it happened in the blink of an eye. Like, yo, what happened that quick? When truthfully, it was little issues that became big issues.
Yeah.
And because you weren't willing to have tough conversation after tough conversation after tough conversation, not to say that it's necessary, but a lot of times people find themselves having these deep-rooted, seated issues because they're not actually getting stuff that offended them out and having those tough conversations. So I say you should have tough conversations as frequent as you can. If you're somebody that can just let stuff roll off the shoulder, that's fine. But even with that, you should have them pretty frequently because everybody knows, just like everybody knows, I don't care who you are, you let enough stuff build up, it's going to come out. And in an explosive way, and probably a way you don't even mean it to. So I would say the tough conversations should be frequent, with love, with practice, with love. Go to counseling, get tips from other people on how to have those tough conversations, but you should be able to have them to where certain little stuff isn't tough anymore. You know, me, like you called me out of my name or something. That's a small tough conversation. Like I know like this is slang, or this is this, or this is just how y'all communicate. That's not how I get it down. So if you mind not directing that to me, that's a tough conversation, because you can look at me and be like, who is you? Right? I'm just asking for like respect on my side, and you could be taking it as like I'm trying to punk you. It's a small issue, but it's a tough conversation. But imagine if I let you calling me that go, and then you do something else when we outside, and then you do something else on Instagram, and then next thing you know, it's just like, I ain't messing with Moses no more. People gonna be looking like, what the hell happened? And then I come back with this laundry list of stuff that I never ever talked to you about. I tell all our other friends, and I never talk to you about it. But I tell Sheldon, I tell Evan, I tell this guy, that guy. And then next thing you know, everybody in the clique know I got an issue with you, but you. But then you start to find out that I got an issue with you from everybody in the clique. And they not even telling you all the correct information, because by the time they heard it, like I told them, and then they discussed it amongst each other, and next thing you know, it's 3 or 4 different stories. 2 of them possibly never came out of my mouth, but then it comes to an issue as like, Moses, you know Raheem not rocking with you, right? And you looking like, well, why not? Well, you called him, I don't know, a bunny rabbit 3 months ago, and you're going to be like, 3 months ago? He don't like being called a bunny rabbit? Nah, he has a fear of bunny rabbits. He got a fear of bunny rabbit. He don't like being called a bunny. He never said nothing. So now you get into this laundry list, and you got a real life opposition. I'm your real life op in real life, and you never even knew it. Only because I did not want to have a tough conversation with you. Have them as frequent and as much as you possibly can, to the point where you might exhaust somebody else, but they can never not say, you never kept it G. Now me, I'm not a person that needs to have a lot of tough conversations, because a lot of stuff I don't really actually care about in real life. And I mean that. It's not one of those things where I say that, you know, some people say, I don't be caring about nothing in life, but they care about everything. I'm really one of those people. I really don't care about that. Like, you got to let me know I offended you. So I'm not going to know. You got to let me know. You got to let me know what's going on. Raheem, you hurt my feelings. What'd I say? Well, you ain't really say it to me. I ain't going to, I don't care. What did I say about you? What did I say to you? I'm that person. So with guys like me, tough asses, you need to have them tough conversations. Trust me. Because if not, out of there. Didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you call me a bunny rabbit and I don't like it, I'm going to tell you, Moses, bro, I don't play the bunny rabbit stuff.
The bunny rabbit.
You hear me? How frequent should we have tough conversations?
Frequently.
Like that.
Frequently.
That's it?
Oh yeah, frequently. Oh, I was like, I thought you were.
But yeah, frequently.
Yeah. Stay in check with your homies and say. I mean, if you feel some tension, make sure to have a conversation with them.
What about homegirls?
Homegirls, oof. Be straightforward. If they go, they go. Be straightforward. A girl really likes it when men can be honest.
But I'm not straightforward with no chick because I like you. Again, I said homegirl.
Homegirl?
You the homegirl. I ain't doing nothing because I like you.
With the home, I mean, it's homegirl is just like what's not.
You know, you got experience, man. I'm just trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mosey kicking it with everybody, Slime.
Yeah.
That's my dog. But in whatever case, family, friends, keep it frequent.
Yes, and honest, and don't try to hide something. I remember a friend telling me, It's like having a splinter on you and just not removing it, just leaving there. It's just going to bother you unless you take it out.
That's solid. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Any final words of encouragement, man, before we get out of here?
Be real.
Okay.
Stay confident. Love God. And love others.
We can put an echo on them last few. Yeah. In these tough conversations, because again, everybody sees tough conversations differently. And we even posted it on our IG story, and I'll read a couple of the responses that we got. Why you ain't respond to our IG story, bro?
I thought I liked it.
You ain't respond. Well, you can't even like a story, my boy.
Oh, a story. I haven't been on my phone all day. That was
yesterday. You gotta rep the brand, Moses. I don't know what else to tell you, bro. Oh, on IG, we asked, is it hard for you to have the tough combos with friends, family, etc.? I'll just read a couple that we have. One said, nope, if I can't have tough conversations, they are not my friend. Somebody else said, it depends on the conversation. Somebody else said, yeah, the drama that you get on the back end is not worth the conversation that you originally intended to have. It's all petty anyway. I feel that, and I feel all that. One thing I want everybody to keep in the key when you're talking about having tough conversations, whether you're having it with friends, families, co-workers, whoever, that I've tried to apply, is do it with love. Whatever you're doing, do it in love. Even God correcting the disciples, Esau, Jacob's conversation, Joseph with his brothers. Again, we go back to biblical context. All of it was done in love and humility. And so, some of the biggest turnoff with tough conversations is you feel like somebody's not hearing you. They're not listening to you. They already have their mind made up. They're not open. They're prejudging. And none of that could be true, but the way you deliver it, if you deliver it with a certain aggression, not even gonna say aggression, because aggression is good sometimes, but a certain aggression, a certain fervor, if you have a certain spirit behind having that tough conversation, it's not going to get accomplished what you want it to get accomplished. But if you do something in love, you'll get exactly what you're looking for, which is peace and understanding. Not agreement, because all conversations, and I hate this, that some people feel, I not hate the people, but I hate that some people feel like the only way for you to understand them or for the only way for a conversation to go good is if y'all come to agreement on something. We can definitely agree to disagree. And that is okay if we're talking about perspectives, right? And you should be able to disagree. You should be able to agree to disagree when y'all both come together to have a conversation in love. Not out of me just purely proving that you're X, Y, and Z or proving that I'm right. If I just come to you in love, the rest of it should take care of itself. So whatever you do when you're having these tough conversations with friends, families, whoever, do it in love. Do it in the spirit of love. Go in the corner, meditate, do whatever you got to do, but get in the spirit of love before you have these different conversations. So that way, what you're communicating and the presence that you're giving out is easy to open up and throw that back. And so it's easy to open up and, you can receive love. To receive love is to give love. To give love, you get to receive love. X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? Do it in love. Everybody love everybody. Moses, thank you for popping out.
Yes, sir.
Episode 72. We're here. More episodes on the way. Reach Over Culture Podcast. Go out there, have those tough conversations, man, but do it in love. Peace. We out.